Have you ever wanted to record your own favorite music or record your own music and audio to cassette tapes?
I wondered that too when I found this in storage a little while back. It originally belonged to my parents and it didn't work, but after replacing the rubber belts inside, it worked pretty well. This is the Sony WM-GX612 released in the mid-90s. It can play cassette tapes in both directions so you don't have to flip the tape around. It has a built-in radio, and you use it to record onto the cassette tape using the audio input on the side. So with this, I can record audio onto cassette tapes for friends and family. So if you want to do something like this, keep watching and I'll help walk you through the process. Now, before I get started, as with any video I make, I want to make it clear that I will probably make some mistakes in terminology or like with the equipment. So, please bear with me and take what I say with a grain of salt. And I hope the video isn't too boring or too long. Anyways, let's get to it. So starting off, what you'll need is a cassette recorder like the vintage one I have here, or you can use a newly manufactured one. However, I've heard that the older models are more reliable and have better recording quality. You can go on sites like eBay to get old recorders for decent prices sometimes. But keep in mind, when they're that cheap, that means you'll probably need to do some repair on them, but usually it's just a belt that you need to replace to get them working again. You'll also need a cassette tape to record on. You can buy newly made blank cassette tapes online. There's also 4 different types of cassette tapes with different sound qualities, but I won't get into that here. For the purposes of this video, I will be using the Maxell Type 1 cassette tape. Probably not the best quality for music, but it'll still work. Something else that might be good to have is a pair of wired headphones. With my recorder, you can preview the live audio input while you're recording, so I like to listen in just to see what I'm actually recording. For audio input, I'm connecting my computer to the recorder with a 3.5mm stereo aux cable. If your recorder is stereo and you use a mono aux cable, then the audio will probably be recorded to just the left side. You can also use just any other audio input. It doesn't have to be from your computer. It could be like a microphone, your phone, as long as you have something to connect into your recorder. To get started, take note of how long your cassette is. The one I'm using is around 90 minutes long, so that makes it 45 minutes per side. And here's a really rough diagram of how the tape is recorded. The tape itself is kind of segmented in half for each side, and within those halves you have 2 audio channels recorded, marked in gray and orange. If you're recording songs or albums, make sure you have enough time per side of the cassette. It might be a good idea to jot these down in a spreadsheet and add up the total runtime of all the songs together. The 2 albums I'm going to be recording are all under 45 minutes, so I should have no problems. Once you have the runtimes figured out, connect your audio source to the recorder. In this case, I'm connecting the headphone jack of my laptop to the recorder with the cable and playing the music from Spotify. Now you can insert the cassette tape into the recorder. Make sure the leading clear tape has passed and you can actually see the magnetic part. You can wind forwards by hand or just put the cassette into the recorder and hit play for around 8 seconds or so. Do note that the side that is facing outwards from the recorder will be the side that is being recorded on. Once you have all this set up, you can press the record button on your recorder and press play on your audio input. Make sure your devices are fully charged and let your music play and be recorded. Once you've reached the end of one side of the tape, just flip it over and repeat the process. You might have also noticed that the front plate of the recorder, I took it off because I don't know why, but when I kept it on, it didn't record properly. The audio always came out distorted. It was probably because there was something wrong with the motor. There was like a squeaking sound and it was probably like slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I took the shell off, it recorded fine. It usually doesn't do this. Anyways, that was kind of unrelated. So, just like that, you've recorded your own cassette tape. If you want to prevent it from being recorded over, you can break the tabs at the top of the cassette here. You can do that with a screwdriver. You just kind of pry it off. Once you've done that, that locks the recording in, and you can no longer record over it. But in the case that you ever do want to do that, all you need to do is just put tape under there, or like just cover up the holes. Once you do that, you can just use it like any other recordable cassette tape. But I don't feel like it's necessary for my purposes, so I'm just not going to do it. And what I am going to do is just to customize the cassette a little bit. I'm going to put some stickers on it and do some customization with the cassette case as well. This way you can make it special for the very special person in your life. So when you're going through the process of recording, you're bound to run into some issues, but here are just one or two of the most common issues that I've personally run into. So one of the issues you'll probably encounter at some point is that the tape gets unspooled from the cassette. This is a pretty easy fix. All you need to do is just to retension the spools by spinning the one of the spools to make them kind of like tighter. You can use your fingers, but in this case, it's easier with like a stick or a toothpick. Remember, try not to crease the tape, because as far as I know, you cannot fix, like you can't uncrease the tape. And keep strong magnets away from the tape itself, because it will kind of mess up the magnetic recording and just basically just erase it. Another issue you might encounter is actually from the recorder or the player itself. Like I said before, some of the belts that help drive the kind of rotations, they're made out of rubber, and after a long time they just kind of like degrade and become like really sticky or just melt. So what you want to do is to find the appropriate belt for your recorder or player's model. I've always found that fixyouraudio.com is always a great place to get your belt. And sometimes a player or recorder might need some speed calibration. This varies model to model, and I haven't tried it myself, but usually you can use a screwdriver to make the playback a bit slower or faster. For these fixes though, you will probably need to open up your player or recorder, but they're relatively easy fixes that require basically little to no electronics experience. And there you have it. Enjoy the music and other sounds you've recorded onto your tape. Share with your friends and your loved ones. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. It really means a lot. And I really do appreciate your support. Stay tuned for the next video. I appreciate your support and your interest. Bye bye.